Hello there. What is going on, everyone? It is an Endor Battle. We are going to be doing a Star Wars Legion battle report using some of the new Monster Fight Club pine trees and some of their extra terrain. We're going to be doing kind of a little bit of a thematic Endor build here. We're using the Endor bunker. Seemed kind of appropriate on this battlefield. We've got a lot of trees set up. Not all of the trees that were in the other super tree video. We wanted to leave it a little bit more open, have a little bit more space. We definitely have a lot of options, though, and that's kind of a cool thing. So, again, big thanks to Monster Fight Club for providing all of these trees and rocks and the tree stumps and a lot of the terrain. The
rocks are particularly cool because you can put the minis on top of them as well.
Oh yeah, they're super flat and yeah, they're really really nice, multi-layer, really cool stuff. So it's all going to be part of today's battle report. And I'm going to be running the Empire. I'm running double ATST today. I've got one ATST with the Hammer's pilot, the mortar, the grenade launcher, and then the other one has Vice and all the guns, and both of them have the linked targeting array. So if they get an order, they get a free aim token. So that's going to be a fun one. I got 3 stormtroopers, and then I've got a speeder bikes, and I've got Agent Kallus, who I have never used before. I'm finally using Agent Kallus. And so he's going to have offensive push, inspiring presence, and his bow staff. Yeah, my stormtroopers are. I've got like some different heavy. They're loaded out a little bit. They're kitted kind of differently. I've got the T-21 and an officer on one unit. I've got the RT-97C and a specialist on this unit. And then I've got Del Meeko and an astromech droid over here, so I can have some repairs for the ATSTs. And Sean decided to go with something a little bit, I guess, more thematic.
More thematic, yes.
Yeah, it didn't really bring anything, any anti-armor, so I guess I'm not really going to need the repairs.
Yeah.
It's even more incentive to don't even attack the ATSTs. Just ignore them, because I can repair it even if you do. But tell us about what you're running today.
I got Leia, Han, and Chewie, the classic from the Endor fight.
Okay.
I went with the Rebel veterans and the Mark II, but mine are paint up green, so they're going to blend in well with the terrain.
Okay.
I got 2 commander teams, but they're full teams with the sniper attached.
Okay.
They are running smoke grenades because I haven't tried that out yet.
That'll be fun, yeah, especially with the changes to low profile. And
low profile is way different. I think you use it against me in one of the other matches.
It can kind of give you cover 3 if everything's right, and that'll help because they have duck and cover also, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And then one little ATRT that I haven't run in a bit.
Okay.
It's not even based.
Yeah, okay, cool. And we're going to talk about the battlefield today as well. All right, so we do have a lot of trees. The trees are all going to be light cover, but some of them are going to block line of sight. We have some of them kind of configured in the low kind of Christmas tree sort of formation. So even though there's a lot of light cover on this battlefield, there is going to be some line of sight blocking. The boulders, on the other hand, are going to be heavy cover, and so that is definitely also, for most of them are going to block line of sight. Some of the smaller pieces like this will be more like barricades. Of course, bigger pieces over here. Obviously, the bunker is going to be heavy cover, line of sight blocking as well. We have a pool over here as well.
Difficult terrain.
And this one is going to be, I would say, probably, you want to say difficult terrain?
Yeah, difficult terrain. Yeah.
I don't know if we want to say, I would say no cover in there because those tree stumps are so small that it's just going to be difficult terrain, no cover.
That sounds fair.
Yeah. Seems good? All right. And then light cover for all the trees. So we got a lot of stuff. It's a pretty cool battlefield I think it's one of the prettiest ones that we've set up yet. So very cool. And we're gonna set up and do our turn 0 here. Yeah. We're actually I had the bid, so we're gonna use my cards. All right, the battlefield is deployed. We are set up. I want to show you guys what we ended up. We went with rapid reinforcements, battle lines, and recover the supplies. I also gave him Kallus's weakness. I don't know why Kallus has a weakness. He seems like such a weak commander. At least in this list. I don't think I built this list around his strengths. I think I wanted him just in case you had a Jedi, since he has a little bit of standoffishness. He's got some cards that would work.
What if I ever run Jedi?
You run Sabine, you run Luke. Sabine's not a Jedi, but she's,
She has,
But also, I don't build the list just to fight you. Otherwise, I would do anti-Pathfinder stuff all the time. But yeah. So here's the battlefield. I deployed the ATSTs in the middle. I had Kallus here. I set 2 stormtroopers in reserve. I got my repair guys over there, and then I got the speeder bikes over here. Sean did drop his snipers in the trees. Look at this. This is so cool. He dropped his snipers in the trees over here. There we go. We got a top-down view of them. And we have Rebel Veterans. Where's your Mark II?
Right there.
Oh, it's under the trees.
The trees are speaking our best.
Yeah, he did put one Mark II in reserve for rapid reinforcements.
I want to make sure I out-deployed you.
Yeah. Oh, you were going to definitely out-deploy me.
Yeah, but it's fun to,
And then Han and Chewie are down there with the AT-RT, hoping that I turn these AT-STs in towards the main force over here so that they can sneak up behind me, and Chewie with his bowcaster shooting into my rear. He wants Chewbacca to take over an AT-ST just like in the movie.
Isn't that like a leap, like a rumored thing?
It's not rumored. They've confirmed there's going to be a way for Rebels to have Chewbacca pilot an AT-ST in the Ewok battle force, but I don't know if that's going to be a whole nother model. They haven't really talked as much about that. I imagine it'll be a card that comes in the Ewok Battle Force set that lets you use it, just like how the A5 speeder got a free card.
So say that 3D printer should get on that, attach, because you can remove that patch on the top.
Yeah, or you can just not glue it in. Like I glued mine in, but people are gonna be all over that. I don't know why people don't like. There's probably 3D printed options to put General Vice screaming out of the top of those too. I know they had it for Imperial Assault that way. Anyway, we also did recover the supplies. This was the center. I put one up there so he couldn't kind of put it right there. He put another one in the trees over there. There's another one in the trees over here, and then there's one right here. So that's where the supplies are. I only have 7 activations, so this is gonna be really interesting. I'm just hoping to hopefully. I just, kill stuff with the AT-STs. I'm not sure. We're going to do a kind of round-by-round summary of how this game goes. My prediction is Sean is going to die very, very badly.
Why Sean? Why not Sean's Rebels? Why don't we go there?
No, you're going to win, but then I'm going to throw one of these trees and impale you through the heart with it. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, gosh, and I can't do it now because I just confessed. On camera.
Yeah, the motive to murder, dang.
No murders here, only joking.
Exactly.
All right, so we're at the end of round 1. For round 1, I played Pinned Down, which is a really great one. He played Leia's 2-pip that gives everybody moves. He did some HQ uplinking, and he had lots of, especially with the Rebel veterans that were up in here, he had a lot of orders that he had put out. A lot of face-up orders, but I won the roll-off. So I went first. I moved up with General Vice. I split fire, and I took 3 orders off. I took Leia's order, sent it back to the pile. I took the Mark II, who could have fire-supported, sent it back to the pile. And I took a Rebel Trooper's order, a Rebel Veteran, rather, and sent it back to the pile. And all of that puts some suppression on there, which was nice, and it stops any fire support shenanigans into these guys, which might have been useful. When you got the critical...
In all reality, it didn't really hurt me that much.
No, but it still made the card do what it was. The card was
supposed
to.
It did. Yeah.
It ended up not making a whole lot of difference, but
no, you
I was afraid you'd get a good fire support shot with critical 3 or something like that.
Was it the first shot I had with these two? I
rolled all blanks.
On both shots.
You did. Well, I also put out enough suppression. I stopped you from aiming and shooting with a couple of them. So there was a lot of suppression I put out.
I did kill Speeder.
You did. Both sniper teams converged fire on my speeder bikes, which were here. They took out a speeder before I could activate the bike, so I'm down to 1 bike. The current bike has no wounds on it. And then I deployed my other stormtroopers for rapid reinforcements back here, mostly to block him off. And then over here, I was afraid he was going to drop a Mark II, behind this guy, over here, shooting into the rear with, he'd get an extra impact from that. And, that would have been pretty interesting. I thought it might have been something, especially if you could have gotten it maybe this, over here, so it's kind of too far for Kallus to charge in and melee or something like that. I thought it was something. So I put these guys back here, but I also wanted them out of range of an oncoming AT-RT over here. So this is what the battlefield looks like at the end of round 1. We're moving in. Chewie touched an objective over there, and the sniper team touched an objective over here, but nobody claimed anything just yet. All right, so end of round 2. The interesting command card play. So I had a feeling he was going to go with Leia's 1-pip to shoot most people because I had actually deployed. So I kept 2 stormtroopers in reserve so I wouldn't get the Leia 1-pip on the first turn. And so I played Kallus's 1-pip and because I knew he had cunning, and so I'd be able to go first. But he played Han's change of plans, which then forced me to send that card back to my hand, and I had to play a different card. So I played my regular 2-pip, and then I used contingencies to go with this one. And this way I forced him to get rid of a card, and I get rid of a 3-pip. He can't play that next turn. I should have got rid of a 4-pip, because then you wouldn't be able to play any card next turn. Yeah, I can do that.
I don't think you...
I can. I choose any number. So you can actually... I can deny you the ability to play standing orders for a turn. but I didn't know I was going to kill
both commanders.
all your commanders. So yes, I kind of stalled a little bit on the ATSTs, kind of going last. I pulled from the pile on this guy. He went last, or second to last. Shot Leia, moved up and shot Leia with everything. I'm glad I brought the blast cannon, the twin grenade cannons, because I fired 2 weapons at Leia and just got enough damage to kill her. This guy then didn't have to. I pivoted because Han moved down here, and I fired everything at Han except for the mortar, which went to Chewie, and I got just enough wounds to kill Han too. So the ATSTs.
Not just enough. That was overkill.
I thought it was just enough.
No.
Yeah. Well, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, Han has 6 health, right?
Oh, he does. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Just enough.
So it literally was It wasn't overkill. Yeah.
All right.
All right. But he did take out my speeder bikes, and also these guys that deployed over here with the specialist. He took out 4 of them between sniper fire and then the rebel veterans. And then I lost 1 from this unit, but they did repair this dude. He had 3 wounds on this ATST. I had I've gotten repairing done over here on this guy, so that's good. My officer just moved back to be able to hopefully help these guys if they get suppressed a little bit. We're removing suppression at the end of the round. 1 will come off of everybody. And yeah, so over here, Chewie has 1 objective. And is moving up to maybe climb up and take this one. The ATRT has been firing shots. Put a little bit of wounds on here, which we repaired, but is so far untouched. The snipers over here are lightly touched. This one unit is untouched. This unit in the back has been hit a little bit, but I don't really have a whole lot of resistance to mess with them right now. The only good thing I have going right now is that I have taken out commanders, so there's no bubble for suppression, so I can make people panic pretty easily. However, these guys over here have courage of 2, so it's not so easy as I think it is, although I do have mortars, which have infinite range, so there's always that chance. So that's what I'm going to try and hope on. I'm going to have a hard time picking up objectives, since he's already got 2 claimed, and I have 0. Alright, so end of round, what is this, 4? End of round 4. I played Ruthless Tactics, he played Standing Orders, and I did lose this other unit over here. I did kind of charge in. He has this guy has moved up. He has the 1 sniper unit claimed both objectives now, which is going to be hurtful for me, but I'm moving in. These guys did a lot of damage to this armored unit. That have I have the
critical 2.
The I'm sorry, the T21 with critical 2, and I rolled 2 crits naturally, so I had 4 hits. All of them went through. Then Del Mico got a shot in, so I got him up to 5. So I think this guy is definitely going down. Problem that I'm running into right now. 2 objectives over there. Look, I can claim 1 right here. I can potentially claim 1 here, which means, but Chewie is hiding behind a Christmas tree, right? And so I've got 2 turns to kill Chewie. Chewie's got how many wounds on him?
5.
5, and he's got 9 total threshold.
Yeah.
So Chewie's not going to be the easiest to kill. So I have to either hope that I could maybe suppress one of these guys into running away, but they're kind of hidden fairly well, so that will be pretty tricky if I wanted to turn these dudes around, or get to Chewie, and that's going to be tricky. So, even though I'm kind of dominating Sean right now with these ATSTs, just laying waste, but he has he has 3 objectives claimed right now, so I have to try and salvage that, which is kind of fun, man. This is a fun game. Okay, so we're at the end of round 5. I misspoke. Last round was not round 5. We're now at the end of round
4.
This is the end of round 4. We're moving into round 5.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I had discarded cards when I did contingencies, so I counted that's how I was keeping track of the rounds. Bad idea to do that. I played Assault this round. I gave it to Kallus and both ATSTs. I had Kallus go first. He moved up to engage the Rebel veterans. He did a double move. He did not claim the objective. He abandoned the objective. He was touching but didn't claim yet. Moved into them and managed.
Beat the snot out of him.
Yeah, he killed all but 1, but now he's locked because he didn't kill all of them. And that guy aimed and punched Kallus, actually got a wound through. Now that means I have a wounded Kallus, which means he can play that card, which means if Kallus wants to kill him and move away, I'm going to end with 4 suppression tokens, which is not the greatest thing ever, but there's sometimes there's cards that will let you do some crazy stuff. So yeah, and that happens before we play our command cards. So if you're going to play that, there's options here. I had Del Mico move out here. Del Mico took a wound from the ATRT, but he's still alive. The ATST killed the ATRT after that, and I had the other stormtroopers move up. They're starting to climb up here towards the objective. Chewie is still hiding, which it's kind of cowardly for a Wookiee. I mean, I want to call him out, Face me, Wookiee, you Lasat hybrid monster. Kallus versus Chewie is kind of cool. And then these guys, I took this other AT-ST, I had him pivot or move this way and fire over here. And I was able to kill one of the unit leaders that was holding both objective tokens. So then both of the sniper units that are back here had to move and claim. So 2 units now have 2 different tokens. But I forced them to have to do that, and hopefully I can put the pressure on, because rather than trying to kill Chewie, I have a much easier time trying to kill these guys, especially with the long range and the high, height advantage I have kind of shooting over some of this terrain. So this is kind of how it looks. And so, a little bit more forward and I'll be able to see over these rocks. I can see over the rocks a little bit. So that's kind of what I'm going to be trying to do. Sean, I think, is still down to standing orders. Chewie's his commander now. I'm probably down. He might be saving a card for the end, though. All right. At the end of round 5, Chewbacca emerges from the Christmas tree, gets very, very close to these guys who did move up here and claim that objective token. And he does this because this other AT-ST gave up on him and started heading over this way to help shoot at these guys. There's still 2 units. We've got 3 in one and 2 in the other, right? Am I correct? Yeah. But this guy is definitely going to kill somebody next round. But the problem is, he's still got 3 objectives claimed. I only have 1 claimed there. I can claim another one. I've got to kill somebody, and I think the timing is important, because if I kill one of these guys, he's got the unit leader right here. He can just move and claim with the other one. So it's not going to be enough to just kill one unit.
That's suppression. Go.
So yeah, it's tough. This unit also has to try and go early enough that this guy doesn't shoot and suppress them, that they can't move and claim. Kallus played Face Me. He's going to gain. He also did the weakness card, so Kallus has got 4 suppression. 1 is going to go away, but I charged the other unit. So I meleeed, killed the 1 unit, and then charged into the other unit. I didn't melee them as well, but I'm engaged in combat with them right here, so this way they don't also get to shoot this unit and try to suppress them. That's kind of what I was going for. So hopefully it'll work. Oh, if I go with these guys first, they could clamber down and then maybe run away. That's an option. But then this guy, I think he might be able to do a reverse. Oh, I'm knocking in. Oops. He might be able to do a reverse and possibly have Chewie and Arc. So I think I've got 2 options. Or I just go forward and try and fire over here. I have no idea. I'm so confused on what to do right now. The options are all over the place. Okay, round 6 summary. End game step. I played 1 pip. What was the 1 pip? The other, just generic 1 pip. And he played standing orders again. I had to give it to these core guys here in the middle so that they could move and claim the objective before being suppressed by this dude. Yeah. And that was probably a good idea that I did that, because I wouldn't have got it otherwise. He did fire. He got 3 hits down, or 2 more hits through. He killed everybody except for the leader. Chewbacca did charge in, killed a couple of dudes. I punched back, got 2 more wounds through, but Chewbacca's still alive. So I didn't. But that was a really cool last-minute charge by Chewie. Very, very thematic play. I gave up on Chewie, decided to go all in over here. This guy has had so much luck with the mortar. My white dice from the mortars have rolled crits every single time. Every single shot with the mortar I've rolled crits, and that's nice because he's got all the low profile and the dodges and stuff like that. Managed to kill a unit. It really came down to who went last, because he had 2 orders left in the pile. I had 1, and it was going to be this. He had either a core that was engaged with Kallus, and then the other one. Because even if this guy was going to come and probably kill the 1 unit that was holding both of these objectives, then the other sniper could just move and claim. Yeah. But he pulled the sniper first, so there was no option to claim a token that was already claimed, which then allowed me to go next, kill the 1 unit. I got into range 2, fired the blast weapon, so no cover, and got enough. I rolled 5 hits. He canceled 2. If I didn't get into that range, you would have canceled enough that you would 2 versus 2. You would have survived. So it really it came down to my very last activation on the very last turn, and I had just close enough to seal the deal and cause him to drop 2 objective tokens.
AT&T's did what they're supposed to do. They provided cover and fire everywhere.
Yeah, they were all over the board, man. This was maybe the most, I guess, most active and interactive. Like the AT-ATs were everywhere. They started out going this way. They did fire over here. Then they turned around, and it was a really dynamic game for them. But your snipers were fighting the good fight. We had to actually use the silhouette rule a little bit over here because some of his guys are crouching, and they, it's like, oh, you can't quite see my head. And we're like, all right, well, hold on a second. Let's,
the levels behind the rock make it weird too.
Fancy 5th Trooper silhouette rule that kind of, was like, no, actually, I can see him. So there was definitely some very, very close judgment calls on this one. But it made for a really dynamic game. A lot of fun.
Looks great with the trees too.
Oh yeah. It was a beautiful setting. So we had a great game. It was I think it was a little tough on Sean because losing both commanders in one round.
No anti
was rough. He didn't have a plan to deal with these guys, but he still almost won because he had 3 objective tokens to my 2. And if this guy hadn't happened, then you would have had more than me. You definitely could have won that one. It just came down to which one you pulled, and who ended up going first, and a couple of key rolls.
Tense moments.
Yeah, but excited. The only thing that didn't go the way I wanted, I was hoping to panic somebody out, because you had Han all the way over here. I was trying to panic Leia over here, so this way I could mortar into these dudes and make them. You would have no inspire, you'd have no courage value over here. I was hoping to make somebody panic off the board, and that didn't really do much because I ended up having to split up my fire a little bit. But yeah, so the suppression didn't work out the way I wanted it to.
The blast caught both. It caught Han. It caught those guys. The blast weapon was the key gun of the game.
So really fun game. Hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I will say this: after my first game with Kallus, I like the fact that you have
he's over here.
Controversial. I'm sorry, not whatever contingencies and cunning. It gives you a lot of choices in the card game. So it's stuff that I probably didn't appreciate well enough before that I've come to say, you know what?
That's what makes Crank really good. Is cunning as well.
Oh yeah. And then the new Maul has it also, and his cards are crazy. So yeah, there's all kinds of really cool stuff you can do there. So a fun game, and thanks, Sean, for being a good sport in the face of crushing defeat. We'll talk to you guys later. May the Force be with you. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I will talk to you later.
Good game, man.